Boom, coming at you with a whole new look, baby. We're going to start this off by saying, let me know what you think of the background. If this is too busy, because I'm thinking it might be, if this is too busy, leave me a comment down below, and I'll try something different. I'm just tired of having the same old look of the carbon fiber table that at least 3 other reviewers now over the past 5 years have copied, and I like to keep my stuff looking different from everybody else. That's why I've done the things that I've done. So in a constant effort to evolve and break away from the pack, I'm trying something different, and it might suck. I don't know. Anyway, welcome in, guys. Jim here once again. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at a new knife, an affordable knife in this kind of category anyway. No, it's not a $20 Walmart special, so stop saying, hey, the price you say isn't really affordable because I'm on welfare. That has nothing to do with anything. Speaking in the terms of high-end production, mid-tech, and even custom, $295 is a really small price to pay for getting into a really high-quality knife. And that's what this is. This is the Whiplash that was designed by Matt and Will of Zoo Bladeworx in Australia. Now, for those of you that may be unfamiliar, Zoo Bladeworx actually makes fixed blade knives with a military theme, and they actually supply the Australian Army under contract. They also make knives for private purchase to various Australian soldiers and police officers and special forces and stuff like that. So they know what the hell they're doing. They've actually got some of the most badass looking fixed blades on the market. As a matter of fact, I've been a fan of their work for a couple of years now. I've had a chance to kind of chat with them a little bit. Probably about 2 years ago, we were talking about fixed blades. It was really before I started getting more heavily into fixed blades. I was totally in folder mode, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll just wait till you guys make a folder. And at that time, they're like, well, we don't know when or if that's actually going to happen, but, you know, we'll see. And now, look what's happening. Now, I want to make something very clear. I don't want to misrepresent this knife in any way. I want to represent it in the same way that Zoo Bladeworx has, very clearly. This is not made by them. This is based off of one of their designs. It's actually made by We Knives out of China, which is why the price is $295 instead of $650, $700 that it probably should be for this level of work. So what they did is they contracted with We to make a production knife. This is a full production knife. However, it is a limited edition. They're only making 150 of these knives. So that's kind of a big deal. That allows it to be exclusive, that allows it to possibly, and I don't know for sure, but possibly go up in value over time. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a badass design that has been manufactured by We Knives, who've already established themselves in this marketplace as making some of the highest quality, super affordable knives that are out there, and also for some great design work as well. So they teamed up with a good company. You're looking at 9¼ inches in overall length, with only a 3½ inch blade. So it's a full size knife, and they really focused on giving you a very big handle. There's a lot of meat to grab onto here, and yeah, the action is just fantastic, as you can see, very fast and very smooth. So you've got a big handle, somewhat of a shorter blade. They've done a really cool compound grind on here. I love the way that it's actually been done. Very nicely done with the top clip or swedge, whatever you'd like to call it. And that is done in CPM S35VN. Keep in mind, folks, S35VN is not a very cheap steel. It's actually a steel that I use in some of the knives that I make, and it's more expensive than the 3V that I use. It's more expensive than CPM 154. So it's a good premium steel. Obviously, being a PM steel, powder metallurgy, you're getting a good, clean steel. It's going to be of the higher quality steels that you can get your hands on. So yeah, there's a premium that you typically pay to get that. Now, in the frame, which is really my favorite part of this knife, you've got all of this machining here. And that machining was actually inspired by one of Bladeworx fixed blades called the Warmonger Chopper. It's also one of my favorite knives that they make, and it has this design built into it. Notice all of the little subtle details that are in this. It looks like a very straightforward, I don't want to say plain, but a very straightforward, simplified design, but all of the holes are just beautifully done. I like the breaks in between. I like the look of the decoration all the way around. However, my one niggle with this knife is when you flip it, your fingers rake across or jam into very, very, very sharp decoration, which really comes out more like jimping. This is extremely sharp. Now, this is already something that they know about, that they're already going to be addressing in their future variations. They needed the jimping here. They mentioned to me that somebody had said that that was too sharp. There's no such thing. You need good sharp jimping on your flipper tab. I would not change that for anything. However, this back here, that's got to go. Or ramp it down into something smooth right where the finger's going to be hitting. Because, you know, even me, even now with my my knife maker hands, which you see I'm torn up, this is where my latest kitchen knife just jammed all the way through me. It actually went in here and out the other side. So, you know, my hands are a little bit more accustomed to things like that now than they used to be. But even I find a great irritation flipping this more than just a couple of times. But as far as the jimping on the spine of the blade, nice and clean, very well done. It's not too sharp, it's just enough to grip you. You feel like this knife is not going to go anywhere. You've got this stuff all the way around. You've got a nice deep recess here for the finger. Feels fantastic. Reverse handhold feels good. Even the way that it's curved to go in here feels good. Everything feels solid. It is a slab-sided knife, meaning it is just flat titanium and squared off 90-degree edges. Yes, I would have preferred to see something a little more contoured, but the way it's built, it just locks into your hand and doesn't go anywhere. I really like that, so there's a plus for that. The lock bar is ever so slightly raised, or this is actually chamfered enough to give you a little bit of relief to get into the lock fairly easily. As you would expect, this is a bearing pivot, so don't worry about that. And it's, I'm sorry, no, I apologize. It's running on washers. And that's what's strange. And they said ceramic washers, and I don't know if the camera is going to be able to get in there and see anything. So my apologies. I wanted to go straight to saying that it was bearings because it feels so fast and smooth, but it's actually washers. And for those of you that have grave concerns, that feel that you're I don't know, Bawana the Great White Hunter, and you're always worried about, well, when I'm out in the field and I'm going to get dirt and grit and grime in those bearings, and that's going to be an issue, you have nothing to complain about here because you've got washers. It's going to be easier to maintain. So for those of you that look at that as a plus, there you go. There is a nicely done sculpted titanium pocket clip. You know what? That background is too busy. This will be the first and last time that we see that background. The camera doesn't want to focus on the knife. So nicely done pocket clip. I like the overall shape of the knife. You'll notice again that handle being much, much larger than the actual blade. No risk, by the way, of the blade coming through, your finger getting into the spine of the handle and slicing you open. It does have plenty of room to sit in there. Overall, I love the finish on this. I love the machining on this. I really, really dig the action. Yes, you can open it by that thumb hole that you've got there. It is a stronger detent because it's meant to be a flipper, so that's not always going to be the easiest way, but flicking it, it was going to be nice and easy. The edges are not very sharp here, so they've actually deburred that or dehorned that a little bit, so the hole is a little bit more gentle on your finger. You do have a finger choil up here in the blade, so you can choke up on it and cut into smaller things, have a little bit more fine control. Again, the grinds, I think, are fantastic. Love the look of these grinds. It's got a nice clean edge. There's the Zoo Bladeworx logo there. Back here is everything that you need to know about it. And again, they were very clear to put Zoo Bladeworx design so that people did not think that this was made by them in Australia. They are actually, as I was told by them, they're the only remaining large-scale tactical knife manufacturer that's actually operating in Australia that makes all their products in Australia, because the other companies that are there that exist actually import their stuff. So they've definitely got national pride for being Australians. A lot of what they talk about is having that pride and supplying the police and military and things like that. So I think that's really, really cool. And seeing their design finally done up in a folder, and in a folder that's a good size, that's just small enough to be EDC friendly, but not so small that you don't feel it's up to a harder task. Honestly, the way this thing is built, it's built like a tank. It feels probably even tougher than it is. So it just seems like you could do pretty much anything with this knife and have no issues, no worries, nothing to be scared of. I like the hardware that was chosen here. I think it looks really cool. It complements the overall design, and that sits perfectly flush. The pivot is slightly proud. I just think overall, every way you slice it, it's well done. The one piece of hardware that you see here on the lock bar is actually for the internal stainless steel lock insert, so you have steel on steel lockup. For $295, you almost can't go wrong. Now, if you're looking to get one of these, they're out. They're done. As far as Bladeworx is, as Zoo Bladeworx is concerned, they're done. However, in the United States, where you would choose to buy it would be Empire Outfitters, and that's actually where this knife right here came from. Awesome people over at Empire. I've dealt with them before. I've told you guys that in the past. Been extremely satisfied with the customer service, with the prices, the shipping, super fast shipping. Craig is awesome. So definitely check out Empire Outfitters. I will put a link in the description below, as well as a link to Zoo Bladeworx in case you want to check out some of their full custom handmade fixed blades. And when I tell you they're badass, trust me when I tell you they're badass. You're going to take a look and go, damn, it looks dangerous just sitting there. So if you're looking for something in this vein, this is honestly, it's a killer deal at $295. Getting that S35 VN, getting a titanium frame lock, beautiful clean finishing, nice satin work on the blade. I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe there was also a black blade. It may have been some form of DLC or PVD, so definitely check into that when you contact Empire Outfitters or look on their website. You may have different variations. That's it for me. I'm going to go on this one. I just want to make sure you guys get a chance to see this. When I put the pictures up on my Instagram and on Facebook, people went nuts and they wanted to get a better idea and a closer look at it, and hopefully this has accomplished that for you. I am super crazy, ridiculously far behind on my videos. I'm going to try to catch up on a couple today. I'll even give you a sneak peek, just because it's sitting right here next to me. I have an awesome Boba Fett themed knife from Luma Blades. That should hopefully be one of my next videos. This is the prototype, super cool. Keep an eye out for that. I've got a lot more. I've got some Build Touch, amazing handmade, super ridiculous high-end customs that I'm going to be taking a look at and sharing with you as well. So don't go anywhere. I promise you more uploads are coming in the near future.